Hey everybody, it's Nick from the Bass Hookup, and today we're going to go over some of the newest baits coming out for first gen fishing. And I also want to talk about kind of our role with first gen fishing and just supporting the local bait makers out there. So first of all, welcome to the channel. If you're new to the channel, what we do is we give out half of our YouTube income every single month while trying to give you enough information to make you a better fisherman for that time of year and all year round. Or if you're a beginning fisherman, we have videos on that. We have all sorts of stuff. All you have to do is leave a comment, watch the video, subscribe, and we'll pick a random comment at the beginning of every single month and give away half our YouTube income. But with that said, to get to the video, we're gonna just talk about some of the baits that we came out with, or First Gen Fishing came out with, during iCast 2023. So the first bait I'm gonna go over is gonna be double buzz baits. So we're coming out with 2 double buzz baits. They're both gonna have clackers on them. The one I have right here, I'm gonna hold up in a second, is gonna be a double plastic buzz with clackers. Now, I don't know of anybody else on the market that's selling a double plastic buzz bait with clackers on it. There are some double buzz baits out there. There are some double plastic buzz baits out there, is what I mean to say, but they don't have clackers. Also kind of going through the design concepts and how we create everything. Basically, my brother and I, right here in this room, in the garage, we create it all. We don't have thousands and thousands of dollars like these other companies that have labs and engineers and CAD designers and all this stuff. So it really helps if you guys support First Gen Fishing as one of your local bait makers. I mean, we're right here in the Sacramento area. We got them in stores all over the place, Tackle Warehouse, Bass Pro Shops, all across the country, but we are local here, and we make everything by hand. All the prototypes we make here and design everything, come up with our own ideas, and everything to First Gen Fishing is pretty unique. That's the goal. We don't want to ever copy a bait and just say, hey, we want to make a spinner bait, let's just make it like this one because I like that one, you know, without a custom head design, just the same old bullet shaped head or something like that. Everything's unique. The head design is unique to us. The top spin, the jaw dropper. Now we have the double buzz baits. We even are coming out with a drop shot weight, unique to First Gen Fishing. Drop shots haven't changed in quite a while, and we are coming out with a drop shot weight that's a football shape. And it's not like a clamp on, you know, put your line through the clamp, cinch it up. We wanted it to be just a solid, you know, on a barrel swivel, just a solid O ring, so that way you could tie it on, or you could slide it up your line and use it like as a wobble head, right? So multiple purposes for that, but a football shaped drop shot weight, we thought, why not? Why don't they make them that way? Everybody uses football shaped, you know, jigs and things like that, because they're known to be better in the rocks. One problem with drop shots is you get a lot of snags in the rocks, so football shaped drop shot weight, look out for that. That's coming up. We didn't bring that to iCast, but look out for that. But all of our baits, like I said, we design them right here in the garage. 2 guys taking a drill, drawing on paper, ordering just lure parts, and customizing them to something that we could then send to the manufacturer. And then it's a lot of back and forth from there, right? A lot of testing, a lot of back and forth. So it originates though right here, just in this little room or in the garage. Like I said, it's cool. It's not a huge bait company spending thousands of dollars, but I think we're coming out with a lot of good products, quality products, and unique products compared to those guys. Those guys go to iCast, and every single year, the big companies, they copy somebody kind of like, you know, what we're doing, or they copy a swim bait maker, and they just make it identical, pretty much identical. So that, it's kind of sad, but it's true. That's what happens every year at iCast. We see baits that just get copied and they're not unique. So to the baits. First one, the double buzz right here. It's got the top spin head design on it. It has a wire bait keeper on it. I'll take this horny toad off of there, but it's got the wire bait keeper on it right there. This is a 5/0 Mustad Ultra Point hook. And again, double plastic, double clacker buzzbait. Something totally unique to us. And we even go as far as to coloring the clackers. So this is red and black. Clackers are colored red, as you can see there. There's different colors. We have clear bladed, just silver clackers, bunch of different colors. You can check them out on Tackle Warehouse. They already have pictures of them up there and they're up for pre-order, but totally different sound, totally unique to any other double buzzbait out there. They're also not huge. I don't know if you could tell, but a lot of double buzzbaits are huge. This one's not. They're not too big, so it's not too bulky. It's not finesse, but it's not huge. So, you know, you could throw this thing, well, you could throw it a mile. This is a ½ ounce, but with the plastic, it keeps that thing up on top so well. You could just creep it on top and not as loud, just more of a plopping noise compared to the metal. I don't have a metal one to show you guys right now, but we do have a metal with clackers, exactly the same, just metal blades. But check out the plastic double buzz. If you want to show them something different on top, definitely show them the plastic double buzz. Again, you could creep it on top, very slow, unique to us, right? So we're proud of that. Everything we come out with is unique to us. So that's the double buzz. Look for First Gen Fishing, again, Tackle Warehouse. You can just look us up by brand. All right, First Gen Fishing. All right, next bait. We came out with 2 spinner baits. So we have the full size, again, our First Gen head, custom head. That's a hand-tied skirt. It's got wire bait keeper on there. 5/0 Mustad ultra point hook on it, spinner bait hook. And then what's unique, yes, it's a spinner bait. You can't do much to a spinner bait. And if you do, I don't think they work as well. So what's unique to the spinner bait is, number one, all super high quality components, from the hook to the wire bait keeper, to the hand-tied skirt, to the paint schemes, to the super stainless wire. And then what's unique is that our blades are quarter painted. So right down the seam, they're painted. So either glitter or paint. This one's called white gold. It's got 1 chrome blade, 1 gold blade, but our chrome blade has a quarter gold flake on it. The gold blade has white and silver flake on it. So, you know, on those cloudy days, when you want to pick up something with a painted blade, you have to switch out, pick up something with a painted blade. And a lot of times you're not getting any flash with the painted blade because the whole side of the blade is painted. When this thing is rotating, when this blade's rotating like this, you don't see this backside. You don't get any flash from a blade that's painted fully on this side. So we wanted to do something that you get some of that paint, some of that color, the glitter, as well as the flash all the time. So you could use it sunny days, clear water. You could use it dirty water, cloudy days. So you don't have to switch out. We have tons of different colors. One awesome color I'm looking forward to in the Delta is we have a red and black, and then these blades right here are going on it. That's a black nickel with that red paint scheme with the black flake. Looks a lot like a crawdad shell. So I'm excited to throw that guy right there in the Delta. So looking forward to that. Again, just something unique to First Gen Fishing. Nobody else doing that. I mean, when you have your blade like that, you can't just dip it. You can't just spray this whole side with paint. That right there takes time. I mean, this has to be taped off, masked off, painted, and the flake added, and a coating over it so it doesn't chip off. All right? And a lot of, companies, they don't want to go through that trouble. They don't even think about that. They want to get them mass produced quickly. We can mass produce them, but it's just a lot more work. But we want to bring high quality, unique baits to the market. All right. And again, just the way we designed that was just sitting over here, bought a bunch of paint, glitters, and a bunch of blades, and just sat there and painted them and put them on spinner baits, ordered, stuff to make spinner baits from Lure Parts online, and just tested all that stuff out. Knew it needed the unique head, the First Gen Fishing head on that spinner bait, the best hook, the best wire, all of those things, ball bearing swivel, strong split rings, all that sort of thing. So we're happy with it. It's awesome. We also gonna have a compact version of the spinner bait where it has a small head. It's got a lot smaller blades, and then the body is weighted. So The compact version is gonna have a weighted body. The head is gonna stay the same size from 3/8 ounce all the way to 3/4 ounce. The only thing that gets bigger is the body. It's also gonna have a bait keeper on it and a super detailed body as well. So both those spinnerbaits, really good baits. Now, the one that I'm most excited about is our vibrating jig. What we did is we wanted a vibrating jig, but we didn't want to come out with one that's just like everybody else's. So what we did was we thought of how could we make it different? How could we improve on it? What's a vibrating jig kind of missing? What could be added to make it better? And just add another tool to your toolbox. And so, you know, vibrating jigs have a certain tone when they're coming through the water, a certain sound. For the most part, they're not silent by any means. I mean, the blade hits the head, but it's kind of a dull chattering sound, I guess, for lack of a better word. But we wanted to make something that's loud, like a rattle trap, right? Like a LV500, something like that. So we started designing things, just taking jig heads and getting different vibrating jig blades and put them on jig heads and trying to see if we could make it something that rattles without, of course, adding a rattle to it. You can't add a rattle to a vibrating jig and have it rattle, right? Unless you guys think of a way to do that, but we couldn't think of a way to add that, and that adds bulk and other things. So we didn't want to just add a rattle, and like I said, I don't think it would work great. So after a lot of trial and error, what we did was we decided, well, let's try adding some steel BBs or some copper BBs into the head where the blade always hits that head. So now you have a metal blade that's chattering back and forth, and instead of hitting the paint or the lead head or now tungsten head, it's hitting some hard metal BBs, copper BBs in this case. So we did that, right? So as you can see here on our new copperhead vibrating jig, it has 2 copper BBs molded right into the head, right where that blade hits it. So every time you're reeling it in, it's moving back and forth like this, and that blade makes contact with those BBs, and it just emits a totally different sound that the bass have never heard. And when they hit it, they hit it like a spinnerbait. They crush it. A lot of chatterbait bites that I get, they're mush, especially in the Delta. I mean, they've seen a million of them. So you got to change up something. I mean, we could always throw different trailers, but this is just like having a rattling crankbait in your box and also a silent crankbait in your box, right? So this is your rattling version right here. So it's going to give you another tool. The other thing that it does, because the blade hits those BBs, it keeps it hunting the whole time. So all your other vibrating jigs, they're going to vibrate and they're going to come straight back, basically in one straight line to the boat, unless you impart action. This one, you don't have to impart action. You just reel like medium, fast, and this thing's hunting like that, coming back to the boat. So super excited about that. The copperhead bladed jig. The other things, of course, I have a spunk shad on there right now, but it has a wire bait keeper on it, hand-tied skirt, super cool, like really clean paint schemes on the head. Comes in, I think, 12 different colors. Of course, a bunch of craw colors, your shad colors, bluegill colors. But yeah, hand-tied skirt. Again, 5/0 mustad spinnerbait hook. So you have a lot of room there to actually hook the fish. But been coming out with this for the last 2 years, been working on this. Again, just two guys in the garage, testing, tuning, taking a drill to things, just like when you're a kid, just designing baits, having fun, and then we get to sell them to you guys and just get them out there. So it's pretty cool. I mean, we don't want to come out with anything, again, that's a copycat, and we want to come out with baits that catch fish. That's the main thing. They got to catch fish. They're not gimmicky baits. The other thing this vibrating jig had to do was it had to start up right on that first turn of the reel. So as soon as you turn the reel, it's going. It's kicking into action. The problem with a lot of vibrating jigs, because you're not allowed to connect the blade directly to the head, you have to use a snap or something like that, or come up with something like that. So a lot of times on all the ones that we, not all, but a lot of the ones we tested, other brands, they wouldn't kick into action right away, right? They wouldn't start chattering right away. You'd have to pump the rod and get that thing to start chattering, and then it might work, and then it'd stop and then work. This one works the whole way back. This thing is awesome. I'm telling you guys, this vibrating jig right here. As a matter of fact, Brock Mosley used it on the Sabine that he won. He won that event. So yeah, we sent a bunch of these out to pro staffers, I don't know, probably like 6 months ago or so, and they tested it. They all love it. They've been using it, but see, they won't tell anybody about it because number one, it's not out on the market. Number two, they don't really want people to know about it, you know, when they can buy it. So that's the thing with pro staffers, especially on tour. A lot of them want to keep stuff a secret, especially if it's something unique. So I think, to me, I mean, like a lot of these baits, this one right here is super unique. The Z-Man Tungsten, the Evo, won best hard bait, but it's not unique to me. Tungsten's tungsten. That's old news. Tungsten's been around for a long time. Yeah, I'm biased. I think this should have won. I think this bait should have won right here. Nobody else has come up with this idea ever. And the idea came from something you guys may have fished in the past. There used to be a buzzbait called a Squeaky Dolphin by Reaction Innovations. And they had a BB sticking out of the head, and when that blade would turn on the buzzbait, it'd hit that BB and make a clacking noise. That's where we came up with it, because we used to use the Squeaky Dolphin all the time. But to get it in a chatterbait, to get them set in there so this thing runs true and it still hits them and they don't fall out, it was a lot of work. So again, you know, support your local bait makers, you guys. I don't care who it is. Bass Union, Sack Pig Baits, Toxic Baits, Blanket, all those bait makers. There's many, many more, but support those guys, man. They put in a lot of work to come up with unique baits, and all their stuff is unique. They're not copying anybody else. It's unique. These big bait companies are just copying other baits and mass producing baits, and they are what they are, you know. Oh, the other thing is, we could bring this to you guys, this Copperhead vibrating jig by First Gen for $11.99. All right, we're not trying to price it so high that you can't even purchase it. I think that's a tremendous deal. $11.99, right? That's a cheap vibrating jig nowadays. But this one has all the aspects of you know, the jackhammer and more, but $11.99, way better price point. So make sure you keep an eye out for those. They're pre-order. Again, all this stuff's pre-order on Tackle Warehouse right now. You can go check out the pictures. There might be some video up there as well for the baits. But yeah, I just want to thank you guys for watching. Again, support your local bait makers. Thank you guys for your support, and we'll see you next time.